Yo, what's going on? What's going on? So today we are going to be talking about how do you deal with unprofessional clients. Cleantastic, what's going on? You here already? Always showing love. I definitely appreciate you. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about dealing with unprofessional clients, guys. And here's the thing, like, as you're in business, the longer and longer you're in business, you're going to deal with unprofessional clients. This is just one of the things that come with the territory. This is not necessarily cleaning business specific. But this is definitely something that it comes across in all parts of business, in every part of business. There's going to be pieces of every business that you're not going to like, and in all businesses there's going to be disrespectful or ungrateful, unprofessional people that are just going to come across that you're going to have to deal with. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and go over some of the experiences that I've had while I've been in business, and then also to like show you like how I handled those situations. And as always, if you got questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. I will definitely be answering those questions as we move forward and as we go along. If this is your first time here, my name is Marcus Crockett. I own, operate, and the founder of Clean Things Solutions, where we take all of the guesswork out of how to start and grow your commercial cleaning business. So with all of that said, let's get into it. Cleantastic, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Today is Monday. Yep. Happy Monday. All right, so we got a couple people in. I'm gonna ask you go ahead and hit the like button as you get value from this, because it don't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. So, how I typically start off is I'll go back and I'll answer some questions that I never got a chance to answer before, and then we'll work our way into the topic at hand. So, the first question that we have up: what motivated you to pursue a career in the cleaning industry? If I'm gonna be 100% honest, like it was never nothing that I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and I really have a passion and I want to join this cleaning industry. It was never really like that. The problem is, I can't really say it's a problem, but my thing was I've always had really good jobs, but I never felt like I was a good fit in any of the jobs that I've ever had. Like I had so many jobs. Good jobs. I've quit jobs. Been fired from jobs. And what it all boils down to is a couple of different things. Like I can play the game for only so long. I'm not really good at like the office politics or the water cooler talk. Like I really just want to go to work, get my job done, and move on. I just wasn't really with like all the corporate politics and all the things that come along with business or come along with working a regular 9 to 5. So when I found out about the cleaning industry, a couple of things I looked at. Number one was, how big is the barrier of entry? How much money would it actually take for me to get started in this business, and how successful could I be? I got in, I joined the franchise, and the franchise really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I talked about it before, but it wasn't, it wasn't a situation where I was going to come in and I was going to really learn the business. When I got into the franchise model, what I did was essentially I bought a job. I bought a place that I had to be at. I had to perform at a relatively high level in order to keep that income, but I didn't really learn too much about the business. So that's a long way of showing like really, how I got into this industry. And really it came down to, I'm not good with working for other people. That's really what it boiled down to. I would have ideas and things that I thought that we could implement into certain companies that would move the ball a little bit further. But when you're working for other companies and or the government with all the bureaucracies and all of that different stuff like that, like what you say really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I wanted to get into a vehicle that I was going to be in control of. So that's pretty much it. How do I prioritize and organize cleaning tasks? So for me in my business, the way that we run things is, let's say, for example, if I always will send specific crews to the furthest point, to the furthest distance, and then I'll have them work back. So for example, like where we're located right now, we're in Tacoma, Washington. We have a lot of different accounts all throughout my county, but as you go further, like towards Seattle or even further, we have accounts out there as well. I would never send anyone from my city all the way to Seattle, but just to give you a quick example of what I'm talking about, if I'm going to prioritize, I'll say, okay, guys, I need you to go out and take care of the furthest account. So go to Seattle first, and then from Seattle, work your way back to you get to Tacoma. That's kind of how I would prioritize things. But when it comes down to actually being in an account, Just making sure that that you're taking care of business. And being consistent. The prioritization really isn't that big of a deal unless it's an emergency. I would say the consistency is probably, is way bigger. Just being consistent when you go in. So that way, if you're consistently doing the wrong thing, we can go ahead and make corrections. And if you're consistently doing the right thing, then that's only going to mean that we're just going to keep growing business. So, that's pretty much how I do that. So, let me see. Have you ever worked with any specialized equipment or chemicals in the past? Well, yeah, we did, during the pandemic, we did a lot of, the electrostatic disinfectant, and we really made, a lot of money doing that because for one, everyone couldn't get everyone couldn't get the machine, right? So the machines now, they're really cheap. And if you're not familiar with an electrostatic sprayer, it's basically like a fogger. But the difference between the electric static sprayer and the fogger is they both will shoot out mist. But the electrostatic sprayer, let me just show you a really quick example. So with the fogger, we'll have this, right? And you spray it out and it's just going to land on the surface. But with an electrostatic sprayer, the chemical when it comes out, it's electronically charged, right? There's a charge that comes to it. And it basically charges it, and it charges the mist, and the mist gets attracted to whatever it's shooting towards. So with the fogger, you would just shoot and then things would fall. But with the electrostatic sprayer, you would shoot and things would fall, and then it would be attracted to all of the surface. So you might spray the top depending on how far away you are, and then you'll still get stuff, you'll still get the chemical underneath or on the sides, just because of that specific type of machine. It's called an electrostatic disinfectant machine. And before, the pandemic, a lot of people really, didn't know about them. And I'll be honest, I really didn't find out about them until that November, October, somewhere around there. And it just so happened that when the pandemic kicked off, I already had knew about the machine. So I was able to order a couple of them. And, the specialized chemical is just a chemical that you have that would, that's rated to kill whatever it's rated to kill. Now, if you are in a situation where you don't know if something is rated to kill, a specific virus or whatever the case is, go to the, I want to say it's the CDC's Enlist. You can go on the Enlist, Google Enlist CDC, and you can type in whatever chemical, and it'll tell you, what that chemical is actually rated to kill. So having that specialized equipment and that specialized solution actually helped us grow our company really, really quick. But that's what we have there. So have I ever been in a situation where I had to encounter valuable or sensitive items during cleaning? Yes. And there's always valuable stuff. I've had horror stories that I've heard from people, in dealerships, and sometimes the dealers might leave the safe open and someone goes in and they, that has not happened to us specifically. But it's things like that that makes me think ahead, certain situations where I just wouldn't want my cleaners to be involved in. A couple of weeks ago, or was it last week, I talked about, us going in and having a dispensary. We had a medical, or not medical, but we had a marijuana dispensary that we were servicing. Now, when I first went in and I did this walkthrough for the dispensary, you got to keep in mind, with these types of places, there's a rule where they can't deposit their money into the banks. So first, when you walk in, all you see is just product, right? You just see all the product. But as you start going through the building, there's just cash everywhere. Safes, you can't even close the safes because there's so much cash is falling out. Money all over the floor, just money everywhere. And that was one of the things that really kind of made me uncomfortable in the beginning was there's too much money here. There's too much money just laying around, and people get tempted. And I never wanted my staff to be in a situation where they're even in the same conversation of, hey, we had the cleaners here last night and something came up missing. So I never really wanted my people to be in a situation like that. And how I dealt with it was, listen, when we come in on these specific nights, can you guys make sure that this door is locked. Or if there's a trash can in this room that we need to get into, just put it outside the door. Make sure the door is locked, because I don't want there to be any misunderstandings on, well, we think this happened or this might have happened or it could have happened, or even put it in, some of my staff's mind. Like, wait a minute, there's a quick $30,000-$40,000 right there. They're not going to miss it. So I never really wanted that to be anything that, we were ever even tempted by. So, that's really the biggest thing. Just take like as many precautions as you really can, especially when you're dealing in situations where, you might be tempted to do certain things. So that would be really just like the biggest thing. Let's see. Customer complaint. Yeah, I definitely get into the customer complaints here in a minute. All right. So let me see. We got a couple people here. Yes, ma'am. Good move. Good move. Yep. So, all right. So here we go. When it comes down to dealing with unprofessional clients, first, let's really break down the whole professionalism thing and really what that means. So when it comes to dealing with unprofessional clients, changing the scope of work, you go in, you do a walkthrough, you meet with the point of contact, together, you guys build up this scope of work. Everyone agrees, everything looks good, the numbers look good, we sign contracts, and now we start to move forward. We're actually in the building and we're cleaning, right? We're inside, we're cleaning, everyone's doing a good job. And then something comes up where the prospect, or not the customer, right? No longer a prospect. The customer now says, hey, we want you to do X, Y, and Z. Well, under normal circumstances, like, okay, that's not in the contract. If you want us to do that, we'll go ahead and add it to the contract, and then we'll charge you accordingly for it. But the problem is when, you or a manager isn't there, and now they're talking to your staff like, hey, we need you to clean this room too, or we need you. It puts your staff in a bad situation. They know that this is something that we didn't agree to, and this is something that they're not paying for. But at the same time, they're going to try to, get as much out of you as they possibly can. And it's something easier to do if someone's not there that can actually make a decision, and you're just dealing with our staff and they just go along because they don't want any problems. This is something that's definitely happened. And this is one of those things where, how I handled this before is, once it's brought to my attention, I'll bring it to the customer's attention. Like, hey, we agreed that on the rooms that we said we were going to do, and on the rooms that, you said that we were going to pay for, is there, do you want to revisit, the scope of work and what we're actually doing? Because if not, we're going to have to stick to what we're doing. There's been cases where it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't realize that. Let's revisit it. And now they're going to pay. Or they'll just be like, no, we just want to have this added in at the current rate. And that's completely unprofessional. So in a situation like that, we got to go ahead and we have to cut ties. And that's fine, because we're not going to give you more than what you're paying for, the same way they're not going to take less work than what they're paying for. So let's see. Okay, says, I have my first commercial cleaning walkthrough tomorrow at a salon. Any advice? Do you have any proposal contract templates? Congratulations, your first one for a salon. So we do have proposal templates over at cleanthingsolutions.com. Cleanthings with an S, solutions.com. We do have those. What I would say, we don't do any salons or any barbershops, but one of the things that I would definitely say is, make sure that when you do your walkthroughs, that you are, very thorough and very specific, and they're specific as far as what they'll do and what they, what they need to have done. Make sure you go over the scope of work in its entirety. Make sure that all of the stuff is actually put down on paper. The proposals that we have online, you can buy one off, or you can get the entrepreneur course. To me, it's a better value to just buy that entrepreneur course, because so much stuff is going to go with it. It's going to show you how we do the contract, or it's going to show you how we do the walkthroughs, how we submit the proposals, versus just buying the proposal and then just trying to have to figure it out. So it's a better value that way. When you're dealing with hair of any type, make sure that you sweep everything up, obviously, or vacuum everything up before you put any chemical or anything wet on the floor, just because then you're going to be in there for so much longer. But yeah, go ahead, go to cleanthingsolutions.com, and then from there you'll be able to make the decision on what you want to do or how you want to move forward as far as getting the proposal template, or actually getting the entrepreneur, not the executive course. The executive course is a little bit higher, but the entrepreneur course, that'll be able to walk you through and show you exactly how we do everything when it comes to that. So another thing, that we face in this industry sometimes is going to be, non-payment or delayed payment. Guys, like, nothing's going to kill your business faster than doing work and not getting paid for it. So making sure that you're paid in a timely manner, making sure that there are penalties and late fees that are associated with anybody who's paying you late. Because at the end of the day, like, they're aware they have a business they have to run, just like we have our businesses that we have to run. Usually, I'll let a late payment go, maybe once or twice, but after that, it's time for us. We're going to go ahead and terminate services, just because we can't function with late payments. We have staff that need to be paid. We have fees. We have taxes. We have so many different things that we have to take care of as business owners. We're not going to sit back and just not be able to pay our staff and work for free. So that's definitely one of the things that we don't play with that when it comes to actually making payments and making sure that we're well taken care of. We don't play with that type of stuff at all. Another thing is like micromanaging. Micromanaging to me is one of the reasons why I'm not a micromanager. Like, my style and how I manage the business and how I train employees when I was training, I'm not a micromanager. I'm going to give you a set of instructions. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to watch you, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But in between any of that, if they have any questions or concerns or whatever, then I'll make sure that all of those things are addressed, because I want for all of my staff to be successful too. So when we have a business owner who wants to come in on their off time to micromanage our staff, that's not a good it's not a good flow of anything. Let's say, for example, if they're attorneys or doctors, their practice is whatever their business is, whatever their focus is on, right? If they're focused on law, they're focused on medical, they're not necessarily focused so much on the cleaning aspect. So they have to trust us to be able to do the things that we're supposed to do, just like we trust them to, or their patients or their clients trust them to do the things that they're supposed to do. I don't do well with the whole micromanaging thing. And that's another reason why, we will, I'll let that go on for a little bit longer than a missed payment, but we're not going to go too far with the whole micromanaging thing. We don't do that at all. We'll go ahead and cancel the contract. Let's see, making unreasonable demands. Like, that just goes back to the whole, changing the scope of work, or having us, hey, we close at such and such time, but I need you guys to come in at, this time because I'm going to be here. Well, we have a business to run at the end of the day. And if they're giving us keys and they're giving us alarm codes, there's times where it's like, okay, we're going to be running late, or we have a meeting, or whatever the case is. They have a meeting on their end. Maybe they have a staff meeting. Maybe they have an event. And instead of us coming in at 6 o'clock, they'll ask, hey, can you guys come in at 8 o'clock? That's fine, right? But it's unreasonable for them to say, hey, come in. We only want you to come in between 12 and 2 on Saturday, if that is not what we agreed on at the onset of the actual contract. If this type of stuff is going on, that's another reason that we'll go ahead and we'll just terminate the contract, because at the end of the day, we have our business, and logistically, I have to make sure that everyone is where they're supposed to be, and that I'm not just out paying for all of these hours and hours and hours, to suit the needs of one specific customer or one specific client. So, always keep that type of stuff in mind. That we are here. We're here to run a business. We have to run a business, and if they're giving us the keys, they're giving us the alarm codes, and they have to trust that we're going to do the things that we say that we're going to do. And Monday mornings, like I always follow up, especially after the first clean, to make sure that things are done, according to one, our standards, but then also to the customer standards. Want to make sure that they're getting what they're paying for. The blaming the cleaning staff for pre-existing issues. We had a dental account. This was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. We had a dental account, and inside of this account, like there was these plugs that go into the wall. It was like I can't explain it, but it was ripped out of the wall, right? And the lady, she called and she's like, hey, your staff ripped this thing out of the wall. They must have did it when they were unplugging the vacuum. So I went in and I took a look at it, and there's no possible way that this thing would have came through the wall or broke off by us pulling the vacuum. But, it was like a $10 fix. So I went ahead and fixed it. And then it was just other little things that kept coming up. But I actually got a call from the owner of the dental office, and he explained, "Lo, no, I know that it wasn't you guys; it was such and such, but the problem had already been fixed." But it was like one or two more things that they had blamed us for, and it wasn't the owner; it was the point of contact, which was, I think, like his niece or something. But after so many times, like, it's like, okay, well, we're done. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna keep putting my staff in uncomfortable situations just because you guys have things going on internally inside of your own business. So, that pre-existing issues, like, be on the lookout for those types of things, because what I found is that the price of your integrity is pretty low, right? You decide if you want to sell your integrity or not. But I'll tell you this. Whatever you sell it for, if you decide to sell it, there's no refunds, right? So once you let people get away with, disrespecting you or disrespecting your staff, they're never not going to do that, because you've already opened a door that said, this is okay. We're going to go ahead and let you, talk to us any kind of way, not pay us when we're supposed to be paid. Once you go ahead and do that, don't expect a return policy on your integrity, because you're not going to get it. That's just the way that it is. So you have to definitely set healthy boundaries for you, your staff, and your business coming in. And all of that could be done just simply through, having a clear-cut communication through your contract, and an understanding between you and the business owner, or you and the point of contact. I've said so many different times, like, I only like doing business with people who I like to do business with. I don't base building my business off of a dollar amount. Yes, it's always good to make money, and we are always profitable when we take on these accounts. But if it's going to be a headache for me or a headache for my staff, I don't care how much the account is. It's not going to be worth it in the long run, because I'm going to be consistently putting out fires every single day, every single week. And at the end of the day, it's really just not going to be worth it. So I will always say, definitely take that into consideration when you're growing your business or when you're building out your business. Let's see, harassment or disrespectful behavior. All of that just flows back into, like, pretty much all of the things that I was just saying. Like, all of those things, take all of that into consideration. If you wouldn't talk to your staff that way, or if you wouldn't want someone talking to you a certain way, don't accept that from clients just because they're cutting you a check. There's plenty of clients out here. People start new businesses every single day, and there's always someone, regardless to where you are, that's looking for your service. They just have to be able to find you, right? So that's really the biggest thing. If you feel like you're being disrespected in your business, or if you are in a situation where it's like, man, I gotta do this because I need the money, I promise you, the money's not worth it, because again, there is no return policy on your integrity. So always just keep that stuff in mind. Guys, do we have any questions? Is what I said, is any of that make sense? Let me get a 1 in the chat if any of that made sense, what we're saying so far. Let me know. Let me know if any of that made sense. Guys, if you just now coming in, I just went over, the things that I deem as disrespect. Changing the scope of work, refusing clear instructions, having non-payment. That's definitely going to be considered disrespectful. Micromanaging my staff, that's something that we do not tolerate. I don't condone that at all. That's the quickest way for us to go ahead and end the contract. blaming our staff for pre-existing things. That's another thing. And then another thing too, this is one more thing while I'm talking about it, like canceling, for them to cancel service, just, okay, we're done. We're not doing that with you guys anymore. That's definitely unprofessional, especially because there's a clause in our contract that says you're not allowed to do that. And if you do that, here's the penalty for it, right? So all of these things are all out. These are put onto our contracts. And we definitely enforce our contracts. We're not gonna, because people are dependent on their jobs, they're dependent on their paychecks. And I don't like getting emails at, on Monday, hey, we're not going to be doing business with you guys, XYZ. Like, no, there's a procedure in order for you to be able to just cancel business with us. And, this is all put into the contract. So I, strongly advise, unless you want to pay that penalty, to go ahead and see it through. That gives us enough time to create different schedules or more schedules for our staff to make sure that everyone isn't just hit all of a sudden and they're out of jobs and now they can't make necessary plans if we don't have something for them. So those are all really things that you definitely want to take into consideration as you're growing your business and as you're building. There's so many different and here's the thing though, this is really the minority. Most of your clients, most of your businesses that you're going to be working with, most of them just want you to come in and do the job that they're paying you to do. Most of them are respectful. Most of them don't look down on you or your cleaning crews. Most of them understand the value of hard work because 9 times out of 10, the decision maker is either going to be the owner, the owner's relative, right? In a lot of our cases, it's usually like the owner's wife, and they've been with the owner building up their business. So they know all the hard work and all the stuff that goes in. So most people really are respectful. It's just a small minority. It's a small group of people who have a problem, and their problem isn't necessarily directly you or me or my business. They have, they could just be unhappy. One of the things that I will say is this. This is one of the things that I will say. I lost Adam popped on. I lost track of what I was saying. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Adam says regarding cancellation of service, they can still cancel within 30 days notice, right? Without giving any reason. Adam, that used to be in our policy, right? But we changed it. Ours is different now because we want a little bit more notice. We want to be able to fix a problem, right? If they want to cancel on our contracts because of something that we're not doing, okay, give us an opportunity to go ahead and fix what we're not doing. If they want to cancel because, the trash wasn't taken out, give us an opportunity to fix it. If they want to cancel because they found someone that's cheaper, there's still a process that they have to go through. So we changed it a little bit as far as when they can cancel or how they can cancel. Now they can cancel, but there's a penalty for it. And most of them don't want to pay the penalty. And I don't blame them. Just, do business the right way and everybody's fine. Like everyone will be good. But yeah, again, so like, most of our clients are cool. We've had majority of our clients for a few years. We did just bring in some new clients, but all of our clients are cool. I don't know whether that's just how the business is or that's just how the industry is, but it's, I definitely have a thing with only wanting to do business who I want to do business with. I'm not a micromanager. I don't like doing business with micromanagers. I feel like I'm pretty reasonable. I like doing business with reasonable people. And it's not always just about the money with me. And I don't want clients who is just always about the money. It's like, okay, well, we're not going to go with you because we're going to save $30 by, going with this other company or whatever the case is. So most of our clients have been with us for, pretty decent amount of time. And I have a really good rapport with, 98% of them. And the other 2% is because we never have a problem, right? There's never any need for me to go in and address anything because we don't have a problem. I probably check in with them like once every, 6-7 months, just because things are consistent. Now we still do have people who are going out, doing their jobs, doing inspections, making sure that all of our cleaners are doing the things that they're supposed to do. But there's never an issue where I need to come and address something because, things aren't getting done, or they're unhappy or they're unsatisfied or they just want to leave. So that's definitely one of the things that I will always advise, like doing business with the people that you like doing business with, and then just keeping open, honest communication with all of your clients, because at the end of the day, we need our clients just like we need our staff, and the clients obviously need us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be, doing business with them. So keep all of that stuff into consideration. Guys, do we have any questions at all what we went over so far? Any questions? Let's see if we got any more questions. No questions. Yep. So guys, if you are getting value, if you got value from me going over what I went over just in that first couple 30 minutes, man, make sure you go ahead and please hit the like button for me one time. Definitely appreciate it. And guys, another thing too, while I'm talking about it today, I know for a fact that the price of the executive course is going to go up by the end of the month. I don't know exactly when it's going to go up. I can't say for sure because I'm still adding more stuff to it. But I can tell you for sure that the price of that is definitely going to go up. So if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, you might want to go ahead and make a move before it goes up, or you could just pay the higher price. It's not going to go up too much more, but everybody likes to save money, and I definitely respect that. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the link right there. Guys, we got any questions? Like, where are you guys at as far as what your business is? What's going on? What are some of the things that you're struggling with? We don't have to, stay specifically on this topic. I'm curious to know. I know that we all get into this business, and some of us grow faster, some of us grow slower, some of us have pitfalls, some of us need a little bit direction, or some of us need a little bit guidance, or in the direction that we want to go. So where we at? Like, let me know what's going on with you guys and in your businesses, and if there's something that I can help you with on this call today, let me know. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm really just here to help. I want to be able to provide the most value, the maximum amount of value that I possibly can. So let me know if there's anything that I can do, or if there's anything that you've been struggling with. My mom used to say, a closed mouth don't get fed. So you got any questions? You got any concerns? Something's going on with your business, you're not sure what to do. Now would be the time to go ahead and drop a comment in, so I can go ahead and address it right now. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. This month I will be at the end of the month. Obviously, I'll be out in Vegas during the CBN conference. I'm excited for that. Hopefully, I see some of the people there. And I will, definitely be there to provide the type of value that I can. I'll be able to provide the best value that I can. I know speaking on, and edited videos is, that's one thing. Doing lives is a completely another. But speaking on stage is a completely different beast. So I'm hoping that I can go there and just provide value that people are coming to see. Let's see. Train Atlanta, Vegas. Let's see, what's the best way, or what's the best info to put on flyers for commercial cleans? I only got one call so far. So what I would say, and that's a really good question, what I would say the best info obviously is, obviously having your name, a way to contact you, the services that you provide, so the services that you provide, the areas that you provide service, or where you have clients. I know you said that, you've gotten one call so far. That's fine. That's good. I'm curious, like, how many have you passed out? How many of those flyers have you passed out? And are you in Vegas? Trent, Atlanta, Vegas. Yeah, that's what I would say is those things. Another thing that I would say, like, especially with your flyers, if you're going door to door handing those out, like, or even not, if you're even like using door hangers, I don't suggest door hangers, but you can definitely use door hangers, and making sure that you're putting those out like on Sunday nights. If you're going out and you're just putting them out, if you're handing them out, that's cool too. Another thing that I will always suggest is like any specials that you have, you can flip that flyer over and put like a QR code or something on the back. Bring it to your website that's going to show like all of the specials and all of the things that you have there. That's another way to get business. And if you're running any promotions, like hey, you're going to get 10% off of your first clean, or anything like that, your specials, promotions, I will put all of that stuff on the back. But on the front, it's obviously going to be your logo, your name, all the areas or all the services that you provide, and then obviously then like a call to action. You would definitely want to put that. So she says, no, I'm in Texas using the door-to-door method. I also done more cold calling than flyers as well. Good. I built my business off of obviously, yeah, off of cold calling, cold calls, emails. That's the way we really built our business. In Texas, I put out I'm not sure if you're using the exact way that I did, but I put out a video about a year ago. And I think it's probably like one of my best performing videos on what I did when I was handing out flyers. So basically, I would start on one side of the street, hand out my flyers, cross the street, hand out my flyers. So say, for example, if I do that on a Monday, then I would come back on a Wednesday and I would come back, knock on the doors, just following up. And I would do that over and over and over again, right? Like alternate days. So, Monday, we'll do Main Street. Tuesday, I might do First Street. And then Wednesday, I'm going to come back to Main Street, go double check on everybody. And I would just stagger my days like that. I don't know what part of Texas you're in, but if you're in a pretty decent populated place, it's not going to take you that much time at all before you actually start to get clients and you start building up your pipeline, because that's really where it's going to start, is you building up, a solid pipeline. And then from there, oh, you're in Houston. Oh, you're going to kill it. But yeah, building up your pipeline, that's really where it all begins. Once you do that, then things are just going to start closing back to back to back to back. And then also too, like, don't be afraid of, and I don't know if you're doing it or not, but one of the things that you can do is start investing in like search engine optimization. That's going to be another thing that's going to be really, really big. I was just I got a few people inside of the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle is our Facebook group. I was just having a conversation with someone from Houston, and Houston is a really, really good area. I know, it's really big. You could drive for like 2 hours and still be in Houston, from what I understand. But, you can make a killing out there just by doing that method, right? There's a lot of opportunities by doing it that way. So I'm definitely rooting for you. And I look forward to hearing more about your progress. Guys, if you're just now getting into the stream, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're getting value, I appreciate it. Don't cost that much money. Don't really cost nothing, but it means the world to me. So let's see what Adam says. One of the things I find frustrating is the amount of time it takes to get an answer back from a client on whether they're going yes. That definitely is frustrating, Adam. I'm not going to say that it's not. I still go through it, but one of the things that I'll do is, say, for example, like we're going to go do a walkthrough. Say we did a walkthrough today. I do the walkthrough today. I try my absolute best to submit that proposal to them today, no later than tomorrow morning. I would wait until at least Wednesday and do a follow-up. Hey, what's going on? Did you get a chance to take a look at the proposal that I had sent over? What are your thoughts? Do you have any questions? Or any way that we can, clear up any misunderstandings or anything that we can do to move the ball forward, right? Sometimes, people are just busy. Sometimes they got to get that decision maker may need to ask someone else to make another decision. Maybe they might say, yes, we'll set up the walkthrough, but we need to check with accounting to make sure that your numbers and everything match with with our budget. And then also too, if it matches with our vision on how we want to move forward as a company. But I'm always following up. Like I'll do it today, I'll follow up Wednesday, and then it's every other day I'm following up. I'll do that for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. If we go past 3 weeks, then I'll just set a reminder to send something off, once a week or once every other week, just to see where they're at. And it's emails. I'll do all of this stuff through email, so that way I'm not wasting time calling them, and burning them out, because it could be a situation where they do have to wait. And then also too, It's the beginning of the year, so everyone's just getting their budgets and all of that stuff together. So, that could be another thing. I have people in my pipeline, Adam. If we're being honest, I've had people sitting in my pipeline for 2 years, 2.5 years, and it's just like, okay, well, we're getting ready to do X, Y, Z. Like, I'm not banking on them to go with us or not go with us, but it's definitely a door that I'll always keep open. We have had people say, hey, I remember doing this walkthrough. Are the numbers still the same, or are they going to be a little bit different? Most of the time it's a little bit different if it exceeds past 12 months, but we've closed deals like that. Just because they're not giving you the answer that we want right away, definitely stay on them. Make sure that you're sending out those emails. Definitely want to keep doing that. A couple of these proposals. Oh, if it's corporate, corporate proposals are going to take longer. There's so much of that red tape that they have to go through. There's corporate is a different animal. It's different than going to your local dental office or private school. There's a lot more hands involved. There's a lot more people that are involved in actually making the decision. Said, okay, I'm going to keep trying. Yeah, I'm going to keep trying, because you're going to be successful as long as you keep trying, as long as you keep pushing, and don't give up, don't get discouraged. It's one of the things that I was saying, last week, in the beginning, as we're growing our businesses and as we are, learning our businesses, there isn't anybody really, maybe outside of our spouse or, our kids or whoever, that are in the stands clapping for you, that are encouraging you, that are pushing you forward. It's just like, at one point, like I said, like LeBron James in the beginning, no one was clapping for him, but as he kept doing the things that he was supposed to do, as he kept growing and perfecting his craft, now the whole world claps for him. So, don't feel discouraged. Definitely keep trying, keep doing your thing, because if you stay focused and you keep doing the things that you're already doing, then you're already on the right path. Just stay consistent, keep moving forward, and you're definitely going to be able to reach your goals. And then another thing too, joining networking groups, being a part of networking groups, being a part of people who understand your story and want to be supportive of you and help you, along the path. Joining network groups. We have one right now. It's the Inner Circle on Facebook. Doesn't cost any money, but it's all cleaning business entrepreneurs. We're all on the same path. Everyone's trying to grow their business. You know what I mean? And if you got questions or whatever, I'm always just a DM away. So I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat one time. But it's just a matter of just being consistent. That's really what it boils down to. If you consistently do enough of the right things, no matter how big or how small it is, eventually it's going to snowball and you're just going to be able to get more and more and more accounts. So that's really like the biggest thing, making sure that you're just consistent. But you're in a great, Mark, you're in a great demographic. There's tons of business in Houston and the surrounding areas. So I know that if you're just consistent, you're definitely going to be successful. Guys, if you're just getting in, I definitely appreciate all of you. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button for me. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. Do we have any more questions? I'm here to assist where I can. I just want to be able to help and be able to provide as much value as I possibly can. Another thing, guys, for those who are just coming in, guys, the executive course will be going up, and I know that it's going up by the end of the month. This is not me to rush you, but I'm definitely just letting you know that right now is a crazy, crazy value that I'm giving on that course, but it will be going up. So if you are on the fence, if you're thinking about making a purchase, you might want to go ahead and execute on that before prices go up. Yeah, so let's see where we at. We got any more questions? Yeah, we went over today. Basically, all of the things that, deemed as being unprofessional from a client standpoint, consistently changing the scope of work, making unreasonable demands, canceling services abruptly, failure to pay or pay late. Like, these are all non-negotiables for me and my company, right? And there was a few other things. You'll have to go back and catch the stream if you're just now getting in. But these are all non-negotiables. You can't build a business on inconsistency. Consistency of doing the right things, in my opinion, is the best predictor of having a healthy, stable business that you'll be able to grow and pass on or possibly sell in the future. So you definitely have to be consistent. And I don't find unprofessional clients, having a client base of unprofessional people, that's just not consistent for me in what we want to do in our business. Guys, we got any more questions? Any more questions for me? Anything that's going on in your business, anything that's bugging you, anything that you just can't get over, a problem that you've been having, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions for me. I'm here to help. Like I said, like I just want to be able to provide value where I can. Let's see. All right, so I got all of those ones out the way. All right, guys, so yeah, that's it for today's video, man. Like I say, in a game of business, spectators only watch, hustlers get into the game so they can win. Guys, I'm always dropping jewels, but the only way to be in position to pick them up, you got to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.